Hi guys, welcome to another beautiful day in nature. I wanted to speak to you guys before I go enjoy what I love best, which is the ocean, and go to the beach and swim in what nature have given us. But what I wanted to share is why I left my $70,000 a year job, an entire career, and left the city, packed up my kids, and moved to the country. So first of all, I want to share, this is not out of the ordinary. There's a lot of people doing it, but it's about what you're willing to give up to and how you want to live. For me, I was getting tired of working every day, coming home too tired for my kids. I couldn't cook for them. I didn't feel like cooking. I was too tired to cook by me already dealing with everybody else. Working to just pay bills, not really having time to go enjoy myself, not being out in nature, because by the time I get off work, get through traffic, I want to just stay home. And like many other people around the world, we do so much of that to try to survive. And a lot of times we're trying to survive that because we're stuck in what we already know. Two things, right? The matrix and the rat race. So for me, it was like, are you going to give that up? Or do you want to keep staying in the rat race in the matrix? Where's your peace? So I had already started my healing journey, and part of that healing journey, and I started realizing that I was giving so much of my time to everybody else, and I wasn't giving time to myself. So when the opportunity arose, I had the decision to make, and I made that decision to come to the country. And it's actually been probably one of the best decisions that I've ever made in my life, because I could now, one, have the time to do this and speak to you all. Because my only goal is to motivate those who want to. If you don't want to, so be it. But if you are in the process of trying to heal and trying to get somewhere where you can just be who you are, what your soul purpose is here to be, then I'm here to help. But anyway, once I got to the country, it was a process, because that process of letting go is probably one of the most difficult process, because you're so used to, the partying, the hanging out, the working, having just enough money to do things that you want to do, so a lot of times when you're leaving that city, number one thing you got to remember is you are going to take a pay cut. Unless you have something that you're doing virtually, and now we have the virtual world. But initially I didn't have that. I had to research and find ways to survive. And again, that's some other things that I can share, but there are ways to do it, but you just have to be patient to do it. And if you think that you're going to quit a job or come out in the country and you're going to be making over 100,000 instantly, no. It is you having to be in survival mode, but that survival mode is better than surviving in the rat race, because you're still able to live off your needs. The key is you have to let go of your wants. So in the midst of letting go all of my wants and going to my needs, that was a struggle within itself, but I did it. 2 years later, because this is going on the second year of me being out in the country, I actually love it. I actually respect the peace. I respect my neighbors. Everybody knows everybody. We actually speak to each other. You can hear nature. Just listen. There's so much. You actually hear it talking to you, which is what I love most. Anybody that knows me knows that I love nature. I love water. I love anything that the universe has to offer, and it is very important. So the place that we came to live at in the country, we have over an acre of land. In the city, you're already always on top of somebody, right next to each other. There's a bird. Love to hear them talk. Okay, anyway, focus on the topic. So here you're able to be in your own space. You're able to do things on your time, not on demand or when someone else wants you to. You do it on demand for you, not on demand for somebody else. You don't have to worry about how you're paying the next bill. I see people who lives in RVs and tiny homes and things, and they talk about their peace. Depending on the way that you want to live in the country, if you're ready to let go of all that stuff, you can definitely do it. If you're looking to be at peace with yourself, if you're looking to find some way to get out of the rat race, if you're looking for ways to just live in abundance amongst nature as a human species, amongst all the other species, you probably want to leave the city. I mean, but if you're that person that likes lime life, likes busy life, you know, need to always have something going on, the country is not for you. Because when I tell you, like, we have literally 2 stores in our town, and that's Dollar General and Family Dollar. To go to the nearest grocery store, we have to, it's about a 25-minute ride, but it's Food Lion. It's about 35 minutes to Kroger. We're about a 45 minutes to an hour if I did want to go into the city. Savannah is not too far. I can go out into Savannah, Georgia, and kind of enjoy things with my children and things like that. A lot, you have to drive, so you have to drive. So if you want to drive and stay away from everything, then it shouldn't be that hard. That, for me, was a hard time adjusting. It still is. That's the one part. But again, my peace, my healing, and me being able to continue to get to know the true me and not the me of who I thought I was when I was living in the rat race. So it triumphs that, you know, so I just have to, that's part of my ego that I have to learn to defeat, again, because it's a constant journey. It's not like, you know, when people's like, oh, I've healed and I'm like this savior. No. See, you're healing and it's a constant process because you constantly find out something new. And that's why the country is so good, because when you do find out something new, you're able to just step back and just embrace it. You're able to learn more about yourself. You're able to do things that you've never done before. Like for me, for instance, I read more. When I was in the city reading, I probably watched more TV than I did reading. Now I read, I get to spend more time with my kids. I'm not paying lots and lots of bills. You know, the bills are so minimal. Like, this is like the first 2 years of my life that when I make money and I get deposits into my account, I'm not even looking for it. So, but you have to ask yourself, what do you want? I mean, some people feel like they can do that if they're just making $1 million and they're living everyday fast life. But for me, like, yeah, anybody can go and chase the money and become wealthy off $1 million, but what do you have to do to get there? And what is your day-to-day life? Like, what do you want to do with your time? Because time is of the essence. We all live and die. We never know when we're going to go. So how do you want to spend your time on this earth? Making somebody else rich? Losing your time? Making yourself age? You know, living so fast that you can't even, you have to eat fast food all the time because you don't have time to make a good meal for yourself. Like, you got to sit and really ask yourself that, ask your family that, if you have children, a husband or wife, and really evaluate what you guys want for your life. Evaluate what's important, what's not important. And for me, I always put needs versus wants. That's what helps me. Look at your needs. Do you have your basic needs? Then you're good, really. Then your wants will come. So now that I made this decision, I'm even able to travel with my family. Like, I didn't have that time to do that when I was working in the city. So now I have more money that I can go travel, you know, and I could take my kids to travel. We can go to different places, and now we're exploring more of the world. So again, if you're single, you can make the decision on your own. If you're not single, you have to make that decision with your family. And you guys need to just weigh out your needs versus your wants, and what's important to you, what's important to them, and where you guys are trying to go, and what you guys actually want to try to achieve, and the time that you guys have with each other, because time is of the essence. We never know what's going to happen. So I encourage everybody to find a way to live as peaceful as possible, love nature, and enjoy nature, and find a way to be you and continue that healing process. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day.